Hi YouTube family, I hope you all are having a great day today. I am bringing you a video on some gift sets and holiday palettes that I think are very much worth the money. And I know that when you guys see one of them, you're gonna go, all right, woman, you told us you weren't gonna get that one, but I couldn't help myself and I caved and I went ahead and got it, and I'm glad I did. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, I welcome you in here. I am so glad that you're here with us. We have a wonderful bunch of friends here and a very safe family. And I hope that you will join us and subscribe by clicking the red button below. Hit the bell with it next to that so that you can be notified of any future videos. And that's all of my plug for now. So the sets that I'm going to do, you probably already saw on my thumbnail, but there is the Wet n Wild new set that is the Pro Brush set that you can pick up at Walgreens. And then there is the Smashbox all-in-one. This is the Drawn In and Decked Out Shadow Contour and Blush palette. That's an all-in-one palette. And then the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. So let's get this one out of the way because I know you guys are going to be going, all right, girl, you told us you weren't going to be getting that one. But what happened was, I went in and I swatched it and I did fall in love with it. Now, I will say that I don't think this is as good as last year's Metal Matte palette. However, that being said, it is an extremely beautiful palette. You have the double mirrors on each side, which isn't really practical, but let's get real. This whole packaging isn't terribly practical. It's just gorgeous and something different from what we've ever seen. And do we expect anything less from Kat? Of course not. She is a fantastic artist and she does beautiful things. So there is your artistry right there. You have the magnetic closure right here in a medallion. This is all raised up embossed, and this is a pretty heavy duty, like heavy duty cardboard. It's not metal, and it's definitely not plastic. So those are the colors right there. Let me get you in as close as I can. And I will say about this palette that, as per usual, in any palette that you buy that is in the makeup industry, there is the metallics, the shimmers, and the glitter colors in here that are really beautiful, and really there is no problem with those at all. I would say that the problem comes in when you're talking about the mattes and their patchiness. I want to swatch all of these for you so that you can see them. I'm just going to start on those first top ones up there. So that top row up there, that top 6, we're going to start by swatching, and then we will move on. Now, as you're looking through these and you're noticing them, you'll notice that there aren't a lot of mattes here. This black matte right here is probably my biggest disappointment. This color right here that is kind of a light taupey brown, I really was expecting this color to be full of glitter, but it doesn't come across that way. The glitter, when you swipe it, the glitter goes away. The other colors, this color up top, it's kind of more of a topper almost that would go on top of another color because it looks very, very white in the pan, but when you get it on you, it kind of washes out a little bit too. So the colors are very pretty there. Obviously that purple right there is coming across as something really, really pretty. It's almost like a very deep plummy purple on there. So that's the first stick. So here is your, well, it's actually the third row down, but our second one we're looking at. Up here you have like a metallic bronze color. Then right here you have a very metallic peach color. This color right here I was very, very disappointed with because I thought it would be good as going across your whole lid, but it's very, very hard to, you know, even get any color out of it at all if you're wanting to get that opaqueness from it. The color next to that is a matte color that actually does swatch very well. That's almost like a very light saddle brown. Then you have this gorgeous orange that is super saturated, and that is a matte again. And then down here you have a brown that is full of like gold flakes of glitter, which I really do like. What I'm finding really interesting about these is that those ones that have glitter in them, even though they do have a little bit of glitter in them, they're not coming across as just chucked full of glitter. I know that there are a couple in here that are very, very glittery, so those will come up in a minute, but the ones that I've shown you so far aren't like super hyper glitter. Okay, third full row down, I'm showing you this one up here that is like a metallic, like deep brown. Then you have a one that is silver, and it is very, very full of glitter. Then you have a matte brown, little bit patchy. That's probably my most well-known. I was going to say this is probably my most disappointing, but it's not. And then you have a teal that is metallic. You have the royal blue that is metallic. And then this one is probably my most disappointing on this row. And this is just a lime green that doesn't want to build up and give you much pigment at all. And that is a matte. Okay, bottom row in the palette, you have this very glittery metallic like gunmetal color. Then you have a metallic berry, which is gorgeous. Then right here you have a really super pale pink matte that again does not transfer well, does not show across as any pigment whatsoever. I don't even think that was even good for a highlight. Then you have kind of a deep royal purple, which was extremely patchy and, you know, didn't do very well either when I was trying to use that on my eyes. Then there is this just gorgeous yellow, bright gold metallic right here. And then you have this really pretty red, orange, very metallic color as well right here. Now, okay. So what are my thoughts on it? What do I think about it? First of all, I think it's an extremely unique piece. It retails for $62. There are a lot of people that don't have these colors already in their collection, and they're going to really, really enjoy this. Now, if you already have a palette that you use for your neutrals or for your transition colors, that kind of thing, this palette is a great supplement to that. But that's what this palette is lacking. There's absolutely no neutrals in here. And the ones that are neutral, to be quite frank with you, they are really patchy because they were the mattes, and usually Kat Von D is a little bit better on their mattes. So I would say there's probably, out of the 24 shadows that are in here, I would say that there might be 5 or 6 in here that were really patchy because they were the mattes or they didn't have a lot of pigment in them at all. I got several beautiful looks out of this. Now, if you're someone that is just looking for an all-in-one palette, then this probably isn't a good choice for you, but I really am enjoying it so far as I'm concerned, even though there was a few misses in here and I was a little disappointed with some of them. Now let's move on to the new Wet n Wild brush set. This one says it's cruelty-free and vegan, densely packed, ultra soft bristles, synthetic bristles mimicking the consistency of natural hair, and ergonomic handle for total control. Do I agree with all of that? I absolutely do. I think that this is one of the better gift sets that I see out right now for the value. And since this is blinding you like crazy with this holographic box, I'm gonna get right to it. So all you would need if you're giving this as a gift is to throw a bow on it, because really you have everything right there. It's already kind of wrapped itself. So this is the set right here, and yes, they are dirty, ladies, because I have used them today. So great presentation, I think. This is $30. It is exclusive to Walgreens. You can only get it there. And what I think is amazing about that $30 price point is when you do the math on these 10 brushes, it's only $3 a brush. And no one can beat that. I have not seen this quality of brushes with anybody. So I'm just going to take these out and show you individually what I've used them for and how they perform. So I want to just show you some of the features of the brushes themselves. They're extremely soft brushes. They are really got a nice head right here. I did not find with any of them that I've used yet that they lost any bristles whatsoever as I was working with them. They have the metal silver look to them. They are tapered down here at the bottom, and I think that is wonderful. And then I don't know if this is going to come across as in camera. It is. You can see that there is a little divot right there that you can actually rest your finger in as you're using the brush, which is really nice as well. So this one right here is the smallest one that you get. This is a very densely packed shader brush, really nice for going into your crease. Then you're looking at a little bit bigger one, a little bit more of a flat head on there, and it is pretty much just your basic shader crease brush. It's going to lay a little bit more color down for you, and I did use that into my crease today. And then this one right here, I didn't get a chance to use this actually. You would use this either for transition color, or which is probably what I would use it for more than anything. It is definitely a fluffy blending brush on that one, which I really like. And then you have this larger fluffy blending brush, which I really found helpful for just, you know, kind of dusting out and making sure there was no harsh lines on my look. And then this one right here, which you can tell I used like crazy. This is a very densely packed flat brush across the top, and I actually used this one today in order to blend in my concealer today. So the next one up is a contour brush right here. It's flat on one side. It's flat on the top, as you can tell, flattened out, very densely packed across. I thought this was so great for just laying down my contour into my hairline. And then I took this little bit of a fluffy brush right here, round fluffy brush, a little bit more of a tapered, but it was still fluffy. And then I just buffed all of that out. Really liked that one. And then I went in with this really nice blush brush, round, beautiful, perfect for getting on the apples of the cheeks, and then, you know, swirling and getting up into your brush, or up into your blush. And then this last one I laid down powder with. I thought this was so nice, but you could also use this for a highlight if you were wanting to go, you know, a little bit heavier on your highlight. But I did like it for powder. Extremely soft on this one and this one. They're not very densely packed, and they're just super, super soft, which makes them really great for blending out. Now, the last one that I want to show you, I just think is really, really kind of unique. If you can see this, it is on an angle, set on an angle. And right down in here, you have a well that you could put your foundation down in, or whatever product you're working with, and swirl it. I'm sure it's meant for foundation, and swirl it. I haven't given this a try yet. I was going to today and I completely forgot about it, and then remembered it after I'd already gotten my foundation on. So I think this is going to be really good for that. What I think is missing in here is like a large fluffy brush that you could do some, you know, just really sweeping powder across, or a liner brush. However, I don't think it detracts from the set. I think that the set is really good. I think the value is fantastic. And I know that in Wet n Wild line or Elf's line, you can go out and pick up a liner brush, no problem. I think that this is great for anybody that is starting out in their makeup, anybody that wants to add to their brush collection these little pieces and maybe pass on some others that you already have. I just think that it's a really, really sturdy line, and I think that it's a great value for the money. Okay, so guys, I saved the best to last. This Smashbox palette I am absolutely in love with. First of all, it's an all-in-one palette, which I think is fantastic. You have your shadows, you have your face products, and you have your blush products, which I think is so good. You have this gargantuan mirror. I'm going to blind you for just a second, but you have a mirror that is as big as the palette is, and you guys, it is such a good mirror. No distortion on it. They did a good job on the mirror. And then on the back, you can see what all of your products are. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but there's all of your products there on the back, which I think is very helpful. And then inside, feast your eyes on what's in here. You get 15 shadows that go anywhere from dark to light, and they're metallics, mattes, and shimmers in here. Then you have your two blushes over here. The top one is a matte, and this one down here has a little bit of satin. And then you have your 3 contour, bronzing, and highlighting products. However, this highlight right here is probably the biggest disappointment for me, because I was hoping they might do some sort of a shimmer highlight or a pearlescent highlight in here, and that's not what this is. This is more about what you might find to set your under eyes or something like that. So this is completely matte on here. Now let me just talk about these other two right here though. This contour color right here is the perfect, and I do mean perfect, shade in order to do a contour. You really need a very, very cool color in order to get your contour right. Otherwise, it's just going to start looking orange on you, and they nailed it on that. And then also the bronzing color right here was so good for that as well. Just absolutely love it. perfect colors. The two blush colors, the matte up here on the, and it's more of a mauve rosy color, and then the peach down here, blendable, beautiful, saturated, just perfect. I am so in love with this palette. Okay, so what are the drawbacks on it? The drawbacks for me are that there really are six, let's just say 6 whole shadows that are kind of along the same lines. Now, as far as there are a little bit different finishes, but I think that they could have brought in a little bit different colors as well if they really wanted to. They could have, instead of just these 2 colors right here, are very, very similar and very similar in finishes. And so are these 2 colors actually these 3 colors right here. And I think that they could have just brought in a little bit more variety. Now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and swatch. Oh, let me talk about the price point on this. This is $42. You could stick this in your bag when you're traveling, and then you have everything you need. You would only need, you know, your brows, mascara, lipstick, foundation, you're gone. And I just think it's so great to be able to have this all at your disposal in one place. The other thing is that they're really nice neutral colors, but you have some surprises in there. You have a few pops of color in there that you can reach for too. So let me do some swatches so you guys can see. I'm going to do the face products first, and then I'll go on and move on to the shadows. Now, before we go on, I do want to say one thing. And I'm going to say this on my soapbox, and then I'm going to shut up. I do not understand why these big companies, well, I understand it from a marketing standpoint, but I don't understand it from a consumer standpoint. I don't understand why these big companies like Smashbox, actually all of them across the board, don't offer a deep one of these. This one could be your light to medium, and then you could have one that was medium to dark. I don't understand why they don't offer that. It really actually drives me quite crazy. Because my deeper skin gals, you're not going to be able to use this, which I'm sure drives you nuts as well. So that being said, you know, I'm pale as a sheet of paper, obviously, you guys, but these are the tones, and they do work well for me. So I would say that if you're light like I am, or if you're a little bit deeper, you're going to be okay with these. So here are the swatches. Up here you have your contour shade, your bronzing shade, and then the highlight shade that I was talking about that has absolutely no glitter in it whatsoever, and then your 2 blush shades, and this shade right here has a little bit of satin in it. Very blendable, very creamy, very buttery formula. Okay, we are going to start with this row right here, which is the lightest row in the palette that we're going to swatch. And as you see right here at the top, we have a very light taupe metal color, or kind of a shimmer color. And then right here we have a very light mauve matte color. Next to that we have more of a light medium saddle brown. There is this gorgeous pearlescent metallic looking light champagne color. And then right here we have just a regular matte bone color. Now we're going on to the middle row right here. To start off with, right here at the top we have a gunmetal gray that is metallic color. Then we have a matte, very, very deep eggplant. That one I was a little bit disappointed in. I thought they could put a little bit more pigment in it and make it a little bit brighter of a purple. This one is more of a very like a bronzy metallic color, kind of has a lot of peach in it. This one is a gold metallic, and then right down here we have more along the lines of a super light taupe color that is a matte. Okay, so the last one we're going to be doing is this top row right here, starting with the green over there. And that green I think is probably the star of this palette. I absolutely love it. It is this deep forest green with just a tiny bit of blue in it. Then next to it you have some that is a brown, pretty deep brown, but it has little gold reflex in it. This one right here is a mahogany brown with a little bit of red in it. This one right here is a satiny peach color, which actually translates really good as a transition color. Then this one down here is a very light peach, like all over lid color or something like that. So what are my thoughts on this one? Actually, I think this is the star of all of them because number one, I think the value is fantastic. At $42 for an all-inclusive palette, you're not going to be able to beat that for what's out there right now. Also, I think that what they do as far as keeping to a neutral but giving you just a few pops of color is really good. Drawbacks, like I said, I wish that they had a darker shade or a darker palette along with this so that you could choose that if you were a little bit darker skinned gal. But I think that they really nailed the formula on these. It's very blendable, very wearable. The blushes are fantastic for any skin tone. They would be easily built up. And I do think that even though there wasn't like a highlighter color in here, either of these two colors right here I have used for my highlighter. So I think this probably is my favorite out of these two palettes, specifically because you just get a better value and you are going to get more use out of it as far as I can tell. Now, if you want to go for the pop, go for the cat, and definitely pick up that Wet n Wild set. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's everything for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys have picked up any of this, let me know in the comment section below. I am going to be bringing you a couple of things that were disappointing to me as far as these new sets that are coming out. There are things that I am looking at that I'm just like, I just can't get on board with. So I'll be bringing that to you in the next couple of days. And yes, I know I was supposed to be bringing you a get ready with me video, and I'm so sorry. You guys, I'm working off of a brand new microphone. Let me know what you think about it. But I forgot to put the batteries in the darn thing and recorded 3 videos. So I'm just doing a test video for now. So anyway, I love you guys so very much. I'll see you guys in my very next video, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.